welcome to the WET Project, where women embody transformation. This week is week 17 of pregnancy. So, I want to talk about death. There's this deep ingrained fear in many women that they may die in this process. When they go through labor and birthing their child, they could die. Which, sure, you could die crossing the street, you could die in your car in a car accident, you could die in an airplane on your way to a nice vacation resort. You could die any moment. Okay, so that's one angle. I could physically die, which is a legitimate fear. That's not the approach that I want to share with you today. The approach that I want to talk about is more on a psychological level. It's still very real and it still happens within the body, but you're actually going from being a woman, being the daughter of your mother, and that part of you needs to let go to give birth to you as a mother. It's huge. Let's get back to death. The fear of death is very real, and it depends who you talk to, but it's still present in basically everyone that I know. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of work on yourself to be able to face this fear and to be at peace with it. So, in birth, this fear can arise, and it can literally arise like, I'm going to die, oh my god, I'm going to die. But it can arise in other ways, and it may not be those specific words or that concept that comes to mind, but it can still be what's underlying all these other fears. So, as hard as this could be, during pregnancy, it's a good time to address this and see where this fear is located within you, and what it looks like, and what it feels like, and just get to know it, and to know that necessarily something inside of you is going to die in this process. And that's the whole reason why giving birth is such a rite of passage. If you look at any society that has rites of passages, you'll find out that most of the time it's not a specific, well, when you're 14 years old, you go through this rite of passage. Some of them it's a specific date or age. But for others, the subject needs to show the shaman of the tribe, they have to sense that the subject is ready for it. So it doesn't really depend on the age, it depends on the maturity of the person going through it. Getting pregnant and birthing kind of bypasses this I'm ready or not. There's this whole biological aspect to it that you can't touch. But nonetheless, this is a very sacred passage, and it's a very particular time in the life of a woman. The psychological process that you go through, this whole change, like your whole identity is changing. And this is what I'm getting to with death. Why this subject of death? In any transformation, something dies and something is born. That's just the way it is. It's like a butterfly. So that the butterfly could become a butterfly, and come out of the cocoon and flap its wings and fly away, first it needed to be a caterpillar, build this cocoon, and liquefy itself. Even its head, its whole body needed to liquefy itself so that it can transform into this butterfly. So a birthing woman kind of goes through the same process. We start out as a caterpillar, and for the caterpillar going through this transformation to become a beautiful, beautiful butterfly, first it needs to die. For the caterpillar, this is death. It's freaking liquefied within this cocoon. But inevitably it surrenders to the process and comes out as a beautiful butterfly. So I love this image because this is what happens to a woman. Of course, it's more on a psychological level, and it's in its identity of itself. So as a pregnant woman that's going into labor, this is what happens. We absolutely need to let go of our plans of how it's going to happen, of our beliefs and our dreams and our, everything that is our identity of how we perceive ourselves. We need to liquefy it, let it go, and all of that churning together is what will help you go from the caterpillar to the butterfly. So it's still a very scary process. We are not, unless you research this on your own or you're attracted to it, in our society it's not very present. This, deal with death and prepare for death and prepare for transformation, and there's not a lot of support of this extremely important process of identity of self, of becoming a mother. And I think that is what contributes to a lot of postpartum depression. That's a whole other subject. A whole other subject. But there's so many other places in the world where this new mother's family and friends are fully on board, and it's just part of their customs. They are there. This woman has support. She has 40 days alone with her child, and she doesn't do anything else. No cooking, no cleaning, no working, no taking care of the other children. She's there to bond with her child. Wouldn't that be nice if we could have that? We don't. Some people have more support than others, but a lot of women are left for just very, very little support. Not just for afterwards, but even during birth. So I'm very passionate about this. This is such a critical moment, not just in the woman's life, but this is how we are bringing each new generation forward. And this is where it all begins. Many, many changes, and it could very much benefit society at large. So, update on the pregnancy. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great in my body, and the baby's starting to kick. Direct communication is happening much more often. It's still very small, but definitely there. It's funny, in this pregnancy, sometimes I doubted. In the beginning, I doubted so many times that I was actually pregnant. I was like, yeah, I'm getting nauseous and I'm getting all the signs physically, but I can't really believe that I'm pregnant. Yeah, I must not really be pregnant. It must be just a big joke. But now I can't. I definitely am pregnant. I would love to hear from you guys. Just where you're at in pregnancy. You too, if you're about that same, 16, 17, 18 weeks in there. Almost halfway. How's it going for you guys? But mostly, of course, I want some feedback from you guys. I want to know all of this talk about death and transformation and like facing your fears.